Hi, everyone. Yeah, I guess I just wanted to address the challenging and difficult circumstances we all find ourselves in. I think, to get that out of the way early doors before we focus on, I guess, what's upcoming for this group. Obviously, it's challenging, it's difficult, as a coach and as a group of staff, it's very challenging. But what I will say is I'm incredibly proud and honoured to represent the group of players I have in front of me. Not just them as players, but I think what you see and you feel is what they stand for. And I think what comes out, loud and clear to me is this group are, they're not just fighting for themselves in the next 6 months. I think what is really strong for this group is to make sure that the next generation of players come through, have the same opportunity and opportunity to represent themselves and perform at the highest level, just like their counterparts. So I'm incredibly proud and honoured to represent them. I think as a coach, obviously, naturally, I want this resolved as quickly as I can, as quickly as we can. I know that's what the CSA want, and I know that's what the players want. Why? Because I think you can imagine it's supposed to be the most exciting year of their careers, and to start the year like this isn't great. But I think more importantly, on the pitch, you lose training sessions, you have players emotionally drained. It's been draining and emotional for myself too, just trying to navigate the difficult circumstances that I'm in. And so I want this resolved as quickly as both parties do, to be able to move forward, not lose sessions, have an energetic group that can focus on what happens on a soccer pitch. If you're asking me as a woman, do I believe in equality? Absolutely. I have a little boy and I want him to know that, I get the same opportunity as anybody else in this world to perform and do the things that I need to do. But I think, it is difficult circumstances. It's been a difficult start to the year in the camp, but I'll just reiterate that, I know the CSA, I know the players want this resolved as soon as possible. And I am incredibly proud of the group of people that I represent. So just wanted to put that out there before we get into the questions. Yeah, I think I can address some of the points that you've raised. I think the Sophie conversation, to be honest, was a little bit soul destroying for me. I think, you talk about what Sophie's gone through, Olympics, and being an alternate sitting up in the stands with someone that experienced. But I think what I've seen with Sophie is an incredible character, and at times is the best trainer on this team on the pitch. But the values and the respect that Sophie's shown in the most difficult circumstances to me as a coach in our journey. And then to have Sophie, talk about retirement in floods of tears, that for me, more importantly, as a coach working with players, that was really, really difficult. And I think I'm just so thankful that that's been put on hold and all the rest of it. So that's the sort of emotional turmoil that's in there. But listen, I think the good thing for me is every player will be available. The group are forward facing. I think we, yesterday for the first time felt really, there's a game in 2 days. And this group are a group of winners and competitors who want to get on that pitch, and often in the most trying circumstances have shown that they can deliver. And so as a coach now, everything's been about, how do we beat the US? How do we beat Brazil? How do we beat Japan? And that's my job, really. I'm feeling the group if I don't have the group focused on that, but I've had to be obviously considerate of the emotional state of the group. So everyone's available. We're future focused on making sure we use this tournament to help prepare this group going to achieve their potential.
And the program cuts?
Yeah, I think, obviously everything's well documented. I'm not going to sort of, I'm obviously in a difficult position here. I'm representing a group of players, representing Canada Soccer. I think everything that's documented is well known, and it's a really difficult time.
Thank you.
I think obviously post-gold medal, there's been regular opportunities put in front of me, but I think that the biggest thing is, I'm committed to this group of players. I've shared some incredible moments with them, and I want those moments to continue. It is a really difficult circumstance. We can't hide from that, but my aim is to be with this group of players to share more incredible moments. Yeah, to be honest with you, I hope it doesn't, because I felt, and I think the group would agree, that we didn't give the best account of ourselves in that game. I think for many reasons, you know, fatigue, all of the things that when you get to that many games in a short turnaround, you know, mindset, etc. So I hope that, you know, we take it to the US as we have your Brazils, your Australias, some of the form that we've seen from this group. I really hope we take that to the US. I think we can, if the mindset's right. And, you know, again, we're dealing with things that I just don't know as a coach how much toll things have taken on players. But at the end of the day, on paper, and if I go off some great, incredible performances from this group, I hope we take it to them, and I hope we show some of the things that we have shown in our identity. I think what I'll expect from the US is there's no way that group, and we've seen that in the championship game, want to get beat by Canada again. I really felt that, particularly the early part of that game, the first 10, 12 minutes, they really, you know, went for it. The US, I'll expect a difficult game, but I think at home, opening game of the SheBelieves, start of the World Cup, it's going to be, and it always is, you look at the last 3 games against the US, it's been 2 penalty kicks and a set play second phase goal. So it's margins, which is great. It shows where we've come. But it is going to be fine margins, and it'll be a fantastic game. These are the games as a coach on the sideline you live for, because every minute really matters. And I hope I often see the best out of this group in those sorts of games. Yeah, I think, you know, yesterday we had what I felt was the first real training session where it felt more sort of normal as it can under how the players are feeling. But yeah, I think the way I get the best out of the players is to do what I always do. And, you know, we had a great vision meeting yesterday about where we're heading, what we're trying to achieve, and refocusing that group as to why does this group, how does it feel, what does it matter to the country to go and do things that, you know, you're not supposed to be able to achieve. And I think that vision meeting helped frame the group and get everybody on the same page. And when you listen to the group in this setting, you've got a group of players who want to be better, who want to get the best out of themselves, who want to make their country proud. And I think getting them in that state of mind going into this game is important. But don't get me wrong, the minute the whistle goes, this group, they're high performers, they're elite high performers, who when that whistle goes, will give everything they've got for the country. I know that. Yeah, I mean, it's new, it's unique. I would say it's not something they teach you on coaching courses, that's for sure. So yeah, it's been incredibly challenging. Yeah, I think, you know, John obviously went through this last year. And of course, our relationship that we have, I've reached out to him around, you know, yeah, how to navigate this situation. I'm not sure either of us are experts. I'm not sure a lot of coaches are out there and experts in navigating this unique circumstance. But what I do know is, I'm not doing my job if I don't prepare this group to go out and perform. And that's everything I've tried to do. So yeah, I think obviously it's our last tournament, right? So you're doing everything that you do in tournaments, tournament play, back-to-back games, moving on quickly, reviewing games, all of those sorts of things, then processes that we try to drip feed in, some things that'll be relevant that we'll be able to do in a World Cup. We've added some layers to that and how we operate. I think, for me, the one thing that I felt last year, we made some huge gains, both objectively, but also, you know, measuring metrics, the things we know that leads to winning teams. We've really pushed in that space. I think the one area that I would love to see across this tournament is to do it more consistently. So we've generally had good halves of games. I think I would love to be able to see a longer sustained area of consistency. We've got the likes, for example, of a Vanessa Giles. We've been missing some core players. We're still missing some core players with long-term injuries, but I think reintegrating some of those players. And then I think a chance to again assess the depth. That's probably really the last time that you open that up due to them circumstances. So I think, yeah, consistency. I think the fine margins, you know, if you look, it was 1 goal. That if we lost a game last year, it was a 1 goal sort of difference. We've got to keep that clean sheet or that hard to beat mindset, and then, you know, being really ruthless in our attempt to score goals. So I think we're climbing. We know we're climbing. we know the little steps that we need to take, but at this point, it is those little margins around, you know, can we start games strong? Can we finish them strong? And can we adapt quickly when maybe the momentum shifts and we need to shift it again? I think those are some of the things that I'd like to see from the group.